Yes, so you're welcome to another episode of Football Wahala, and I'm your host, as usual, Noise the Voice. You know, it's been a crazy ride throughout the Euro 2020, and that will be our discussion for today. What teams have surprised you? What teams are not living up to your expectations? So stick around, because we have our usual panelists here to discuss this topic. Euros 2020. They've kicked off to an amazing start, or probably you are not satisfied with what you've been watching all this while. To discuss that, I have great people here. So straight up, I don't know, I don't know what team you feel have surprised you, or maybe have done something that's worth mentioning.
Worth mentioning?
Yeah, talking about. As
I would say France.
France.
France are the defending champions. No, rather, France are the World Cup winners.
Yeah.
And they have the strongest team, basically, all around them. Everybody's rooting for France, and with the game they played against Germany, it's no surprise that they are more likely to win this tournament.
Yeah, but it is expected for France, to actually do something, to impress us, So I don't know. They're a big team with all the players they have there. So
well, big team. I think what will make France stand out a bit is because they do not have individual players. In as much as they have very big players in each position, they all play as a unit and as a team. Okay. And that's what I believe will make them really stand out. Unlike other teams like, let's say, England.
England.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Bora, what do you feel? What team has probably surprised you, or lived up to expectation, or have not lived up to expectation?
I think team that have surprised me, that impressed me at the same time, is Wales.
Well,
check the group that they are, nobody give them that chance. 2 matches, 4 points, they done well. And there is another team that people don't really talk about, but I knew they were going to tell Europe and the whole world that they are ready, because they were not at the last World Cup. They have been doing a great job since then, since they knew that they were not able to win the World Cup. They played since 2018, they've not lost the game. 10 clean sheets in their last 10 matches. Definitely, I'm talking about the Azurish.
Yes. Well, would you rate them that high?
Well,
thinking that they are the group they're in, you can't really, have Wales, you have Turkey. Do you think those teams are teams that actually put that challenge to them?
Well,
I don't think they have any chance, but to actually, impress.
Definitely, you might not give them that chance, but this is how Italy has always been every other tournament. Nobody always give them that chance. Nobody always predict them to be eventual winner. But at the end of the day, you just see their performances come right after time. And I'm telling you, like my colleague said, he's talking about France. When it comes to Italy and France, I'm telling you, that France team cannot even.
Sorry, wait. Let me come in first.
All right.
There's a proverb that says, "In the land of the blind men, a one-eyed man is the king."
Yeah.
And in this case, Italy is king because you have Wales and you have the Turkey and very small lesser teams there. Now, look at France, look at Germany, look at Portugal.
Yeah.
All in the same team.
Group.
Come on. Or rather, in the same group. We can see that France have already started living up to expectations. And I tell you that if Italy was to find themselves in that group, they will be the least favorites to qualify from that group.
I absolutely need to disagree with my colleague here. Because if you are trying to tell me, like, it doesn't mean that if you come out from a group of death, meaning you will be the eventual winner of any tournament.
Yeah, but the thing
is
that some people, when they find themselves in certain group, they might not qualify from that group. Doesn't mean they are not better than other people who qualify from other groups.
But the taste is this: like the statistics I give you about that team is that since 2018 they could not qualify for the World Cup, and they knew that okay, for us not to qualify for the World Cup, now let's build a team. And when you look at the Italian teams right now, there is no big household name that you can call. That is why the surprise is there now. There is no big name like, okay, you are talking about France now. You mentioned Pogba, you mentioned Mbappe, you mentioned Kante, you mentioned Benzema and all that. You can see those household names. But when it comes to Italy, those like average players, Insigne, Immobile,
and let me tell you something. You don't need average players to necessarily. You need people who will turn up big in big matches. Now, and looking at Italy, talking about performances and talking about how they've been able to mobilize and everything. One thing you should know is that Italy also has an aging team, especially from the defense. They are old. Now, tell me which one of them wants to stand the fine power of Mbappe.
Look at Mbappe.
Now, tell me who in the midfield in Italy wants to match Kante currently.
Maybe I should go down the lane of France, Italy whenever they play.
All right.
Yes, I will take you back to 1982. France, Italy. You can see the way Italy defeated them. Even in France 98 that they played, it was on penalty shootout.
Look.
Now, Euro.
It's because the
Euro 2006, the same thing applies. See, this is how the Azurish always. Nobody even see them winning the 2006 World Cup in Germany. And this tournament has come on board again. Nobody ever discuss about Italy.
That's not true.
No, nobody.
That's not true, because if you are to talk about probably the first 5 or 6 European giants, Italy must be mentioned. In fact, you will mention Italy before you even talk about Portugal.
No. For this tournament, Portugal is ahead.
I'm not talking about this tournament.
Okay.
I'm talking about generally.
But I'm talking about based on the commencement of this tournament.
Okay.
Picking the favorites, Italy was never in top 3.
So who do you think is favorites?
They have been picking France. They have been picking even England ahead of Italy. Yes, they have been picking England, and then we talk about the disappointing team. To me, the English team is not even the disappointing team of this tournament.
Really?
But
yes.
You can't really write them off though. In as much as yes, I believe they are disappointing, you can't really still write them off.
To me, it's like my writing is as if I should just take a duster and start cleaning it up. That I should write them up, because let's be sincere to ourselves. They just played their game against Scotland. Playing a Scotland 0-0 draw in a tournament like this, and the last time before their last game when they played Croatia was a struggling 1-0 win against Croatia. To me, I don't think the English team, and they have a lot of debutants in their team, so they've not shown that charisma that they are capable of going far in this tournament. And that's why I pick Wales. And if you recall, Wales was a semi-finalist at the last Euro.
That's true. They actually struggled to qualify.
They were in the semi-final.
This is their best qualifying tournament.
So definitely, I don't like it when a team play well at the qualifier. Then we now get to the tournament proper. Like we just talked about Turkey. Turkey was so great in their qualifying series. Look at it now, 2 matches. They lost it out. Lost 3-0 to Italy. Lost 0-2 to Wales. So definitely now, it's teams that are showing outstanding performances now. Wales, Czech Republic, I can even take Slovakia, because for them to lose to Sweden, that is expected, because Sweden is a big household name game football nation than them. And then you can't judge France because France eventually win Germany in first game. I don't want to take that as maybe France has really impressed me, because when you look that game very well, when it comes to dominance of the game, the German team dominates. It's only that they couldn't get their bearing of getting to the final.
But one thing you should understand is that football is no longer based on who has more ball possessions or who dominates. It's about results.
Who has highest goals at the end of the 90 minutes, right?
At the end of the day, it's about results.
At the end of the day, the goal only judged by a little mistake from the opponent.
A little mistake.
Which is
the thing is that if you don't make mistakes, you don't score goals.
Which is an own goal.
An own goal
Yes, yes, an own goal from Hummels. That is what caused Hernandez make the cross in.
That was a strategic ball to Mbappe, and what's his name again? I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. He panicked and he played the ball into the net. If he did not panic, he would have cleared it. But that is football. That is why you have mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't score
But
goals.
that cannot be credited to France's efforts. You understand?
is it.
Fine,
That is because-
the cross was coming in, but then
And Mbappe was there.
If the keeper had
Mbappe's
stepped
presence
up,
alone was a threat.
if you have a keeper that stepped up, that wasn't going to allow
There is no
anything-
keeper from Jupiter that will be able to keep that ball away. And
You sure?
That's the truth. There is no keeper that will be able to keep that ball away.
The boys. You see, I don't want to judge France because they eventually defeated. Just like he was saying, he doesn't want to judge Italy defeating maybe a team like what they call it, Switzerland and Turkey. The same thing applies to what France has just done against what they call against the German team. Let's see how the French team is going to do as the competition progresses. Let's see, because the last time they were the hosts, everybody thought they would even defeat Portugal in the final. At the end of the day, they couldn't find their
Okay, well,
bearings.
let's talk about England. Now, you mentioned earlier that they're not living up to expectations this time, but they are second in the table now. Like, what do you feel is wrong? Is it that, for me, I feel like they are taking things slow.
I don't think
That they still come up and then.
First of all, I would blame the coach.
All right.
Now, I believe the coach. Okay, I see no reason why Jadon Sancho did not play. I see no reason why they didn't play him. But I believe the coach does not really like him, probably because he's playing in a foreign league,
Okay.
or he's not playing in England. I'm not sure. But for me, I think the coach is a bit sentimental and choosy with the kind of players he's deploying. Not necessarily who is fit, but probably who I prefer or who I like. And England has always had the problem of having a bolstered, studded squad with probably the most useless coaches to handle the squad. I believe at some point they should probably make foreign coaches, probably like German coaches who don't have bias.
Okay, to take over the team.
Yes, to take over the team and play them based on their own strengths.
Yeah, but it's really funny because years now we've not seen England actually taken, as in record any major triumph.
I don't want to go deep into it. I think those guys love business more than laurels. Yes, let's be sincere with ourselves. They love business than laurels. They just want to be in that tournament and probably make their money. In terms of them being serious like the German team and the Spanish team, that yes, they really want to win the trophy. I don't see that seriously in them. But to be sincere, I don't want to put the blame on Southgate.
Yeah, okay.
Let's be sincere, because he was their coach at the last World Cup.
And how did they perform? Terribly.
No, they were at the semi-final of the last World
They
Cup.
managed to get to the semi-final.
Being the semi-final, you can't call that manage. Yes, being the semi-final of a tournament like World Cup, you can't call it manage. Yes, you can't call it manage. You see, the thing is that after that World Cup, there are a lot of their big players they put aside now. It's like, okay, that's what I said earlier, that maybe probably because there are a lot of debutants in that team. Even Jadon Sancho you are talking about has never represented England in a tournament.
Yeah.
So look at it now in their lineup, apart from Pickford, apart from Trippier, apart from Harry Kane, apart from who again? Sterling. Yes, you can see it. Now they have debutants like Phillips, the guy from Leeds United, Declan Rice, you have Foden.
Yeah.
You understand? All these guys are debutants. So they should just go to this tournament, try to do their own plus and minus. But I don't see them doing
All right.
okay.
Speaking generally now, has the Euros been interesting for you? Do you think, okay, all the hype, you talk of all the team and everything, has it been that interesting for you? Or you just something you just watch, you just let time pass by? What do you think?
I don't think there's been any
Not much excitement, is it?
excitement in this Euro. Basically, many of the teams are, I don't know, they're not performing based on, like, the teams that you expect to maybe score goals.
Yeah,
They're not scoring
Yeah,
goals.
not delivering. They're not giving.
Individual performance and star players are not necessarily bringing the quality that we know them to have. And I think it's just boring. I think it's just, you know what, let's just watch it, let them have a winner, and let's just go back to our Premier League and
So
Champions
what do
League.
you feel? What do you feel?
What I feel like is getting closer. Like the upcoming teams are trying to catch up. And another team that we don't discuss that is even highly disappointed again with Spain.
Okay,
And
Spain.
majority of people are criticizing the coach. I'm talking about Luis Enrique.
No, but
Not even
I
going-
think the coach was even very, very bold, because I think this is the first time that Spain is not going with a Real Madrid player.
And the whole world has been
I
criticizing.
I think that's very bold.
And the whole world has been criticizing
And
about.
why should they criticize him?
Yes,
Who
that-
can you point in Real Madrid that is worthy of being in that team?
Well, at first I want to look at it. I still find out that somebody
truth is
like
nobody.
Nacho is supposed to be there.
How?
Nacho
Why?
played throughout this season.
No, he
for,
played, but
uh,
who? Okay, who should he replace?
so are you now telling me a player like Pedri should be ahead of Nacho?
I would prefer him. I would prefer him.
The same thing. You see, the same thing that applies to Gary Southgate for England is what applies to Enrique. Even the starting lineup was somehow, you know, the way I look at the game against Sweden. When I see the starting lineup, I was like, is this really Spanish national team?
All right. Let's just round up everything. Final takes 2 seconds, 3 seconds. What you feel about Euros? Who you feel has surprised you, and who you feel has disappointed you?
Well, I think the team that surprised me the most will be across board.
Portugal,
I think
France,
I think it will be Wales.
Wales.
Because left for me, I felt, or I don't know how they did it. I felt they should be the fourth or the last from the bottom. So for them to still be, so they've really surprised me and quite impressive. And the thing that disappointed me the most is England, obviously.
I knew you were going to say.
No, obviously. I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yes,
And naturally, I think we in Nigeria, we all have this very soft spot for England. One way or the other.
exactly. Yeah,
Because we have a lot of Chelsea, Man U. You know, when you now see everybody coming together and that disappointment of the player, Harry Kane, you know.
All right, so Mr. Bora, just give us what you feel your team disappointment.
Definitely, it's like finally on the same track. Definitely the most impressive team that impressed me so much, that surprised me, still become Wales. The last Euro, we were there at the semi-finals. It really showed that they're a tournament team, even England himself. That whenever they get to a tournament, they want to show that they can be part of the game. And definitely England, Spain, both teams have really disappointed me. That's all.
At the back of my head, I was even thinking that Wales should quickly get out of the tournament.
Tournament.
Let this guy go and play his golf games. Because I don't know what he's doing there.
All right, that has been our topic for today on Football Wahala. The Euros, what teams have impressed and those that are not living up to expectations. You know, we've had our own take here, but we would like to hear your view. So leave us a comment and share what your own perspective, what team you feel have lived up to expectations and what teams have disappointed, and what you feel about the Euros itself generally. And also give us a like and share the video, and if it's your first time, do well to subscribe. We'll really appreciate it. Also hit the bell icon so you get notifications whenever we upload a new video. Always stick to us, because we will always have lots of content for you, because in football, wahala no dey finish. So I'm your host once again, Noise the Voice. See you next time, but do stick around because our predictions are coming up right up.